Ever feel like you're faking it in a room full of screaming sports fans? Like you're somehow broken because you just can't bring yourself to care about the big game? Well, what if I told you it's not a personality flaw? It might just be a fundamental difference in how your brain processes rewards. Your indifference isn't a lack of passion. It's just a different way of finding meaning and joy in the world. So what exactly is happening inside the brain of a diehard fan? When they're watching their team, it's all about the powerful neurochemical, dopamine. But here's the twist. It's not just about pleasure. Dopamine is the molecule of motivation, and its main job is to drive us toward goals. Research shows that dopamine levels spike more in anticipation of a reward than after receiving it. Sports are wildly unpredictable, and that's the key. This uncertainty creates massive anticipation, the possibility of a goal or a win, and that's what causes dopamine to surge. It doesn't even matter if the team wins or loses in the end. Just the possibility of victory keeps the brain hooked. For a fan's brain, watching a game is a roller coaster of neurochemical suspense. Beyond the chemical rush, there's a deep human need for belonging. When a fan's team wins, their brain can process it as a personal victory, which provides a significant boost to self-esteem. It's a powerful way to feel connected, part of a tribe, and part of a story bigger than yourself. So why doesn't that same reward system light up for you? It's not because your dopamine system is broken. It's likely just tuned to respond to different kinds of triggers. For many people who don't obsess over sports, that same dopamine hit is more likely to be activated by things you have personal control over. Think about it. Why would your brain get a major reward from emotionally investing in something you have zero influence on? This preference for personal agency seems to be a key difference. Your brain may prioritize motivation for things where your own effort directly shapes the outcome, like creative pursuits, intellectual challenges, or hitting a personal goal. You're wired to play the game of life yourself, not just watch from the sidelines. This isn't just a psychological theory. There's some neuroscience to back it up. Studies show that the act of making a choice can be inherently rewarding and activates the brain's reward circuits, even when the outcome is the same. For some, this sense of agency is a more powerful motivator than the vicarious thrill of watching others compete. Plus, for some people, the sheer sensory input of a game, the screaming crowds, bright lights, and constant noise, can be genuinely overwhelming rather than exciting. Your brain might simply find quieter, more focused activities like reading, hiking, or deep conversation more neurologically rewarding because they offer connection without the sensory overload. This brings us to the most important point. These differences aren't flaws. They are simply different and equally valid ways of being human. While a sports fan's sense of self-worth can be tied to their team's performance, people who don't follow sports often build a more stable sense of self-esteem that isn't dependent on external wins and losses. Your validation tends to come from within, from your own accomplishments, skills, and values. Everyone has a finite amount of emotional energy. A sports fan directs a huge amount of it toward their team, building a powerful, one-sided relationship with players and an organization. People who aren't interested in sports simply invest that energy elsewhere, in personal relationships, creative work, or social causes they care about. Interestingly, some psychological studies suggest that people with low interest in sports tend to score higher on personality traits like openness to experience, which includes a love for art, beauty, and ideas. So while one person gets a profound emotional high from a championship win, you might get that exact same feeling of transcendence from a piece of music, a work of art, or a fascinating new idea. It's the same reward, just coming from a different source. So, the next time you feel like the odd one out in a room of screaming fans, remember this. You aren't broken, boring, or passionless. Your brain is just playing a different game, one that may prioritize agency, internal validation, and a different source of meaning. You're not wired to find joy as a spectator because you might be wired to be the main participant in your own life. And in a world that pressures us to follow the crowd, choosing to invest your energy in things you can actually shape and control isn't a weakness, it's a quiet strength. You're not missing out. You're just focused on a different field of play. If this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button. You'll find that thinking differently is one of your greatest assets. And if you're ready to understand more about the psychology that most people never hear about, check out this next video.